Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and today we are going to be doing What If Vegeta Discovered Ultra Instinct / Went Ultra Instinct. Now with that intro out of the way, there's really nothing else I really have to go over besides this will be taking place in the Android saga, and we will be making some changes so that his body could actually handle Ultra Instinct. So you guys don't have to spurg at me in the comment section, and with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Hey, collecting rings like a Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy. Got 'em on a diet, yeah. Flex like I'm Hogan. Yobi's coming over. Yeah, we respect.
We start our story off with Vegeta training in preparation for the Android saga, and he currently is trying to obtain Super Saiyan in order to surpass Goku and Vegeta, but he just can't do it. When the meteor comes down and is about to nearly kill Vegeta, instead of going Super Saiyan, he would simply go into a completely new state which would give him silver eyes, along with the ability to move without thinking. As we all know, this form would be Ultra Instinct, and he would then simply wipe out all the meteors that are coming at him, and he would stay in this state for just a few moments before then reverting back to base form. Vegeta didn't manage to hold Ultra Instinct for that long, but he does know that this power could give him the boost he needs to defeat Goku, and so Vegeta would heal up from the training and gain a massive Zenkai boost. And we do know that Ultra Instinct does give the user an exponential boost, since Goku went from scrapping with the suppressed during the UI to being able to tank his serious punches in his base form. Now I know this is a Goku who's gone Ultra Instinct twice, however that isn't downplaying the fact that this definitely is an increase to your base form. This in reference to Ultra Instinct, and so Vegeta would definitely be much more powerful than his canon self here, and this would eventually lead into Vegeta trying to obtain the state once again, but he would only get so close and become a Super Saiyan. Now Vegeta did vividly remember the state he was in, and I think Vegeta here would try and get that UI type of fighting style and try and apply it to his Super Saiyan state, and even try and obtain the form once again. Now Vegeta here, due to training with Ultra Instinct and wanting to obtain the form, would train even harder than his canon self, and he would be a lot more powerful. This would lead into Vegeta arriving in the Android saga and would fight 19 and Dr. Gero, and Vegeta would just easily kill 19 here, and when Gero makes his escape and releases Android 18 and 17 kills him, the battle between him and 18 would then ensue. This Vegeta would be much more powerful, and I'd say he actually body 18 and even use an after image and then a big bank attack combo to blindside the android and off guarding her and killing her. With 18 dead here, 17 would rush out of his way to kill Vegeta, and no one can stop 17 since Vegeta is on low energy and everyone else is just a lot weaker. Vegeta would be met with a bunch of combos from the bloodlusted android, and 17 would seemingly finish the Saiyan off with a large energy beam, but Vegeta would surprisingly barely survive it, saying, "Is that all you got?" as he would then spit out some blood. Vegeta here is completely fatigued and he's on his last knees, and 17 would then say how he's going to wrap it up with a final attack, and as he charges in, he would say to 16 that they don't need to worry since after this pass they can focus on the real target, aka Goku. This gets Vegeta a little surprised, and it would light a fire within him, and he would think back to when he was trying to surpass the Saiyan, and this is the same night he went Ultra Instinct. Vegeta would then mutter under his breath, "No." As 17 goes in for his kick, Vegeta in that split second would evade 17, and yes, you guessed it, would awaken Ultra Instinct once again. He says how he refuses to be just another obstacle for them to get to Kakarot, as he will be the one to end him. And so with that being said, Vegeta would then also say that he will also be the one to end these androids, and Vegeta would simply evade all of 17's attacks and hit 17 with a gut punch that makes him cough up spit. At that point, Vegeta would then just simply blink his eye as 17 tries to go in for one last attack, and seemingly Vegeta is standing still, but in reality he's just moving so fast that it's just appearing that way, and he's actually hitting 17 with the barrage of attacks that actually put 17 down for the count. At that point, Vegeta just walks up to the unconscious android and kills him away, and as that happens, he's using the last of his Ultra Instinct to then shoot an air blast that forces 16's head clean off of his body. At that point, Vegeta's Ultra Instinct would then vanish, and Vegeta would then collapse due to exhaustion. Meanwhile, Trunks, Piccolo, and the others would combine their energy to destroy the rest of 16's body, and they would then destroy his head, and Krillin and Trunks would then proceed to destroy the rest of Gero's lab, because they would think it's a good idea. Now in this timeline, Piccolo and the others kinda go their separate ways until Kami then alerts Piccolo personally about Cell, and Piccolo would go to the lookout, and he would then suggest fusion, which Kami would actually be willing to do here because, again, Cell is out. And so Kamikula would then be born and he would go out to fight Cell, and this encounter plays out as per normal, but then when he says his goal is to absorb the androids, Piccolo would just regenerate his arms, smirking and saying to Cell that there's no hope to absorb the androids thanks to Vegeta killing them off early. And with that being said, Imperfect Cell would get very bloodlusted and he would then charge at Piccolo out of frustration, but Piccolo, already regrowing his arm and being already a lot more powerful than this version of Imperfect Cell, would just simply kill him. Imperfect Cell draining Piccolo was something that Piccolo did intentionally so that he can get information out of Cell, and with that being said, the rest of the fight that Piccolo and Cell had, Piccolo was dominating. So Piccolo would simply just kill Cell here and the Android Saga would weirdly wrap up. However, I do believe Goku would still want to use this time chamber to get stronger, and he would encourage Gohan to at least try and learn Super Saiyan. That way he can at least, know the form, and this benefits future Trunks as well since he needs power in order to defeat these androids, and so Goku and Trunks would then go in, since Trunks has a more important reason to go and train more than Gohan, and so Goku and Trunks would then emerge out the time chamber after one day, with Trunks learning grade 4, and at that point Goku and Gohan would then use the second day, and Goku wouldn't be able to go in for the full day, since remember, Goku did use the time chamber a lot earlier in his life, but Goku and Gohan would both come out in Super Saiyan grade 4 and Goku would be on the near verge of Super Saiyan 2. When the two emerge, Vegeta would see them in grade 4 Super Saiyan, and he knows he is probably stronger than them thanks to the Ultra Instinct Zenkai boost, but he wants to make sure he actually gets this form first and he beats Goku. And at that point, Vegeta would then go into the time chamber and he would learn grade 4. After emerging the chamber, this would then lead into Vegeta and Goku finally having their rematch, and Vegeta would actually beat Goku this time. Vegeta is just far stronger than Goku here, and it's just not going to work out for him. Now, Vegeta this time I think wouldn't kill Goku since he's already been knowing that he's kind of stronger than Goku. However, he decides to spare him since he can actually use him as a training partner to hopefully obtain Ultra Instinct once again, or this mysterious state, because he doesn't know it's Ultra Instinct yet. Now, during the 7-year gap, Vegeta and Goku would be training, and Vegeta never goes UI. However, during this time, he would mature as a person because he's already gotten his rematch against Goku, and he's already stronger than him. Goku here, along with Vegeta, would be obtaining Super Saiyan 2 and even mastering the form, and Gohan here would be weaker since he never unlocked Super Saiyan 2, and Vegeta would also be a lot more powerful than everyone else and would be the strongest in the group. Now, when the Babidi Saga enrolls, I think the things that would set up the arc would be the same until the group heads out to stop Babidi, which I believe Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan would easily stop the goons of Babidi, and even if Gohan loses to Deborah, Goku isn't going to let him die, so he would just kill Deborah himself. So in the end, Deborah is inevitably being killed, and this would nicely wrap up the Babidi Saga as Vegeta and Goku and Gohan would destroy the rest of Babidi's hideout, Babidi himself, and return the Majin Buu egg to the Supreme Kai's world, and they would thank them for their help. And as we all know, 4 years would then pass, with Vegeta still being the strongest Saiyan other than Goku, and when the Beerus Saga enrolls, I think the max power that Goku would go into is Super Saiyan 2 instead of 3, but everything else is pretty similar, except for a much more powerful Vegeta is able to fight Beerus better than Goku. Now, since Vegeta is the strongest on Earth, I do believe he would get God first, and I do think it would be fitting for him to get Super Saiyan God first, so him and Beerus would then fight similar to how Goku and Beerus did, but this Vegeta would be stronger than that Goku, and would satisfy Beerus much more to the point to where Vegeta would actually lure Beerus down to Earth after their fight, obviously like days or weeks, and this would eventually lead into Vegeta training with Whis and Beerus. 6 months later, Goku would then try and begin training with Beerus, and both of them would then do their training, and they would eventually obtain Super Saiyan Blue, and I believe Vegeta here would be much more powerful than Goku still, and would even mention to Beerus and Whis about the state he was in once years ago, which is, the mysterious state aka Ultra Instinct, and based off the description Vegeta gave them, they would consider this to be Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta strives to try and achieve it once again. Now, Frieza would still return, and Goku and Vegeta would still combat Frieza, with this time Vegeta killing Frieza because he knows Frieza is not going to help him obtain Ultra Instinct, so he's not going to waste his time, and so he would just kill Frieza right off the bat. Now, as we all know, the Universe 6 arc would then take place after, and honestly, for the replacement of Buu, I can really care less who anyone really chooses. I just think everyone else is just far too weak. So regardless who joins the tournament, I think they're just going to be eliminated right off the bat, and I think Vegeta and Goku are going to have to carry the tournament, and especially Monaka, because again, he's going to one-shot hit. Even with Goku having the Kaioken times 10 as a trump card, Vegeta doesn't really care because his natural power is to the point to where he's still stronger than Goku, so it doesn't even matter. And Vegeta would still lose to Hit, not because of a power thing, but because he underestimated Hit and he got off guarded by his fighting style. And so Universe 7 would still win, and this would lead into the Goku Black Saga, which I do believe Vegeta would obtain Ultra Instinct in, and we will skip to that specific scene. So instead of Vegeta using a Final Flash to save Trunks and Goku from Zamasu and Goku Black's Ki Blast, he not only shoots a Final Flash, but this time Goku Black and Zamasu, instead of just, ignoring it or whatever, just decide to fire off at Vegeta, and Trunks and Goku are too weakened to try and stop it. Vegeta would seemingly die, and Trunks is getting ready to spurg out and go into Super Saiyan Rage. However, before he does that garbage transformation, Vegeta would emerge in his Omen 3, and he would completely bully Goku Black and Zamasu and kill Goku Black. Now, as for Zamasu, again, he has immortality, so none of Vegeta's attacks are really going to kill him, and this would lead into Vegeta then collapsing to the ground due to exhaustion, and them going back to the past to get the Mafuba and the Ceiling Tag. Vegeta would remind them to please use the Ceiling Tag because Vegeta was so much more powerful than Zamasu, and he should have won that fight, and Vegeta is just completely enraged at the fact that Zamasu got away like that because of his cheap trick. And so with that being said, Trunks and Goku would then remember the Ceiling Tag, the Rice Cooker, and basically all the things they need to seal Zamasu, and so Trunks would then seal Zamasu, and the Goku Black arc would then conclude. Now this would lead into the Tournament of Power, which only minor changes would occur because, again, instead of Majin Buu, it would be Piccolo, Gohan, and Goku, and Piccolo had been training, so he would just beat Basil, Gohan would probably lose to Lavender, and Goku would then beat Bergamo. Goku vs Toppo would then ensue similar to in canon, and when the Tournament of Power starts, Vegeta and everyone else that's basically been recruited except for 17 and 18 would be on the team. And the only change here is probably Goten and Trunks would join, and honestly, it doesn't really matter who these last two members are, and I'll show you why. Now, when the Tournament of Power begins, I think things would just start playing out similar to in canon up until episode 109 through 110, where I do believe Vegeta would fight Jiren instead. And if Vegeta went UI, basically getting beaten down by Jiren, and Jiren then forcing him to go Ultra Instinct a fourth time, I think Vegeta at this point would already go into the Mastered State, and since Jiren hasn't broken his limits, Vegeta would beat Jiren up. So far to the point to where I do believe Vegeta would shoot a Final Flash at Jiren before he goes into his full powered state and even tries to attempt to break his limits, and would eliminate the strongest person in the entire tournament off the stage. Now, Vegeta would suffer the repercussions of using MUI, and Toppo would try and finish off Vegeta for what he did to Jiren, but Hit would then come in and face off against Toppo, and I do believe Hit would use the same technique he did on Jiren, but this time it would work on Toppo. And after this, I think the strongest people they really only have to deal with are Hit, Kefla, and maybe Aniraza, but I think Aniraza they would just take down similar to how they did in canon, with a much more powerful Vegeta compensating for 17's loss of power, because again 17 isn't here. And I do believe they would be enough thanks to this Vegeta being much more powerful than canon Vegeta, and Goku would be working together with this Vegeta, so I do think it would be enough to take down Kefla. And so in the end, I do see Universe 7 winning, with the last members being Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, since Gohan would probably fall due to him being much more weaker than his canon self, and this would then lead into Vegeta getting the wish since he is the MVP of the tournament, and he would only wish back Universe 6 because that was his promise to Kaba. And since I do believe Frieza wasn't nearly as significant in this tournament as he was in canon, Beerus wouldn't treat him to be revived, and so Frieza would just go back to the other world. And this basically means no Broly movie, and the Moro arc I'm not gonna get into because I don't read that trash manga. And with that being said, this would then conclude this What If and this What If one shot. Thank you guys for watching, peace out, hope you guys enjoyed.